The Great Depression from 1929 to 1941 by Eileen. Take a moment to review and look at the table of contents. Introduction. Today we will talk about the Great Depression. How did the Great Depression start? Who was blamed for it? What happened to the banks? What is the New Deal? Who is Franklin D. Roosevelt? I want you to think about these questions and figure them out later. Enjoy! How it all happened. To start with, the economy did not just fail because of the Wall Street crash. It took World War I, farming surplus, using credit, the stock market crash, and more. After World War I, the USA demanded the repayment from France and Great Britain. France and Great Britain demanded the repayment from Germany, who was blamed for war. The president of the U.S., Calvin Coolidge, was asked for forgiveness in war debt. His response was, they borrowed money, didn't they? They need to repay it. The debt hurt the U.S. economy. After World War I, farmers had a huge surplus. Farmers kept growing crops for the war, but when it ended, no one wanted to buy any more food. They already had loads of food. And since the supply was much bigger than the demand, prices dropped phenomenally. This hurt not only farmers, but the economy. Another reason is buying goods with credit. People bought new items such as washing machines, the automobile, refrigerators, radios, and other things. The problem was people bought goods with credit. Credit means buy now, pay later. They also bought stocks with loans thinking they could pay later. People bought stocks hoping they could get rich quick, and then they would pay when they were rich. As people bought stocks, the market was steadily rising, but if the stock market fell, the people who used credit and loans would be in trouble, and they would still have to pay back. The stock market was troubling and people worried, but the new president, Herbert Hoover, said everything would be fine and there was no need to worry. But there was something really wrong with the stock market and the economy as a whole. On Thursday, October 24th, the downturn started. J.P. Morgan stabilized the stock market by adding money to it. Sadly, the fix did not last long enough and Morgan was not able to fix it this time. On Tuesday, October 29th, the greatest amount of money was lost from the stock markets. To make matters worse, investors panicked and rushed to sell stocks, but no one wanted to buy them. Banks closed down when people could not pay loans back. People made it worse by rushing to banks thinking their money was safe to withdraw. By the end of 1932, more than 5,000 U.S. banks failed. Businesses started to lay off workers, then closed. Soon the unemployment spread all around the country, and it all comes down to Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover plays an important role in this economic crisis. Well, in history, he is important, but to the people, he is hated. Herbert Hoover was one of the U.S. presidents during the Great Depression. Herbert Hoover's name means failure. Even though the Great Depression took years to happen, Hoover was at fault. Hoover believed that offering too much help was wrong, so Hoover did very little things for the economy, and everything he tried either didn't work or completely backfired. He passed the Harley-Smoot Act, thinking when foreign goods were higher in price, people would buy more American goods, boosting the economy. It completely backfired, and it hurt the economy even more. Another time in the Midwest, farmers used poor farming techniques to plant crops which dried the soil. The wind picked up the dust and blew them across the plains, starting the Dust Bowl. Even though nature's and farmers who caused the Dust Bowl, since Hoover didn't do anything, he was hated even more. Also, a threatening bonus army attacked protesters and took 2 men's lives. But soon, just as he was about to run for president again, his competitor is going to change everything. Franklin D. Roosevelt and the New Deal. Franklin D. Roosevelt, or FDR, is the grand finale. He helped improve the economy. He was the president after Hoover. Unlike him, he started helping immediately. He created the New Deal, which is full of programs that gives families a job. like the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, which builds dams, provides electricity, and produces food fertilizer. It also produced jobs for the people. The Civilian Conservation Corps, or the CCC, employed young men and were sent to camps to slow down erosion, plant trees, and constructing fire towers. By the end of the year 1933, the CCC employed more than 250,000 men. Didn't solve the whole situation, but it showed that FDR was trying. Agriculture recovery was a key to fixing the Great Depression as well. To fix this, FDR started the Agriculture Adjustment Act, or the AAA. The purpose was to fix surpluses and reduce the amount of crops and livestock. Farmers were paid to plant only a certain amount of crops, and the government bought slaughtered livestock. The Works Progress Administration, or the WPA, employed thousands in its first year. The WPA built schools, post offices, hospitals, bridges, etc. Finally, men got some jobs. Some programs didn't work, but like FDR said, they were going to keep trying and trying until the task was done. There are more programs, I just listed some of them. FDR helped the economy grow, but the Great Depression really ended when World War II started. Thanks to him, we have the U.S. we have today. Conclusion. Finally, we have come to the end. There is more to the Great Depression than this. Have you answered all the questions? If yes, good job. But thank you for taking the time to watch this. Credit. Before we end the lesson, I need to give credit on the book I was taking information from. The book is called The Great Depression Captivating History. It is a great book, and I highly recommend reading this book. Like I said, there is more to the Great Depression, so if you want to find out more, I highly suggest reading this book. This is the end, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching.